Coach Hauk, defensive end Hayden Harris led the team in tackles, and Nick Osmo running back. And Coach, we'll just start from your final thoughts against Delaware as you get ready to host the Paladins in a rematch of the 2001 National Championship.
All right, thanks, Tabes. Yeah, in regard to the Delaware game, that was a great team win. Everyone's really good at this time of year, and it's just pretty awesome to get a 30-point win in that first round game. I thought the snow hindered us a little bit, but our guys went out and executed pretty well and handled the elements. I think our guys have the right temperament and attitude, and are playing their tails off. And the guys in maroon love to play, and it showed up on last weekend's game. So I was happy with the win. In terms of Furman, they're a good football team. They spent number 2 a lot of the season at number 2 in the country for a good part of it. They're terrific on defense. They just they're always in the right place. They're very veteran they're very veteran everywhere. They've got 16 senior starters listed. The offense is skilled. Wide receiver, running back. The offensive line are all fifth-year seniors. And then the quarterback, Huff, is the guy that makes him go. I just love that dude. He's a great player. He's a competitor. He's a tough runner. He's a good thrower. He's a military guy. He's in the Army Reserve, I believe. I mean, he's awesome. I'm a big fan of his. I won't be a big fan till after the game on Friday, but that kid's a winner, and he makes him go. So you combine all the veteran players, and they're the number 1 turnover margin team in the country. This is really a tall test. We have our hands full. I would say this: we need our fans. We need the noise. They check a lot. Crowd can have an impact this weekend. Sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. They can have an impact this Friday night.
Questions?
Bobby, you brought up the fact that they are the number 1 turnover margin team in the country. What have you seen from them that attributes to that?
Well, I mean, the answer to that question is the defense takes it away and the offense doesn't give it up. I don't know how else to respond really, but they're good. They take care of the football. That's how you get there. We've been in that situation here a few times.
And Nick, another big game for you in the snow. Is it safe to say that you like running in the snow?
Yeah, I don't mind the snow. I don't really try to let it affect me too much, and I know that our team kind of tries to use that to our advantage, because that's just kind of where we are as a university. We're located here, and the snow is going to be a problem, so it's something we just have to kind of deal with.
Bobby, you touched on the quarterback. Can you just kind of, I guess, elaborate on what kind of makes him go? You've talked about the things he's good at. Obviously, he dealt with some injuries and seemed to bounce back pretty well. Just what kind of stands out to him most when you look at the film?
Yeah, that's probably a better question for their coaching staff, because I'm just, I'm watching him. But I can tell he's a competitive guy. Excuse me. Talking to people that have played against him, they say exactly that. He's really a well-rounded player. He's like I said, he's a tough runner. He's an accurate thrower, and he'll fight for yards and first downs. And appears to me on film he'll do anything he can do to win.
Hayden, for you, this is your first year here with the Griz. Just what's it been like kind of acclimating and then just kind of have a game like you did on Saturday where you had, the season high in tackles, and just, can you just describe what this first year has been like for you and being part of this defense?
Yeah, it's been definitely a year of improvement for me. Getting here in the spring has really helped me get used to the defense, coming from a different defense. But I think the coaches have done a really good job, as well as the players, of helping me acclimate to the defense, and getting some rest with the guys has been really helpful so far.
Obviously, you came from the FBS level, but you're getting to experience FCS playoffs now in the format. So what was it like kind of playing in a playoff game for the first time on Saturday and going forward?
It's really cool. My time at UCLA, we only got two bowl games, so coming to go, play for the national championship is really special. And I think it's a really good format, for college football, and I'm really excited for the game on Saturday.
Coach, what sort of crossover have you had with the SoCon in your career?
Boy, I don't know.
I was trying to think too.
Yeah, I don't know. The leagues have all changed so much. You don't even know who's there. Appalachian State was in there. Georgia Southern. Yeah, those two for sure. Beyond that, well, I don't know.
It seems like when I watch the Big Sky, the Missouri Valley, there's kind of like defining characteristics about the league. Can you see any from them? I know like their last game was an all SoCon game with Chattanooga and Furman together.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching the Chattanooga game, and I was going, when did we play against them? And I figured out that's where the championship was. I recognized the stadium. So, but we never coached against them. So, I mean, there's enough teams in all these leagues that it's either one or the other. You can say everybody runs the same stuff, or I mean, everybody runs the same plays. Watch the NFL, watch college football. Everybody runs the same stuff. There's very little uniqueness in college football.
Furman's given up
Even less in the NFL.
Furman's given up like 17 points per game. You talk about the turnover margin. What else do they do well defensively?
Well, I think it probably stems from how veteran they are. I mean, they're certainly well coached. Everybody fits together. They've all played a lot of football. They all understand how they fit the formations and the schemes, whether it's their coverages matching up with your formations and route concepts. They match them up both in zone and man. The run fits, they match up really well. I think it seems to me, and we're a day and a half into this, but it seems to me that their players have a great understanding of what they're trying to do on defense.
Bobby, when you watch Furman on film, do they remind you of any team you guys have played this season?
Well, I'll go back to kind of what I said. Everybody does the same stuff, so they remind me of everybody. Other than they're better at it than some.
I know their head coach was a longtime offensive line coach. Maybe you guys overlapped when you were both in the Mountain West, and they have a couple, or most of their offensive linemen got some sort of all-conference awards. What kind of stands out with how their offensive line plays when you watch them on film?
Yeah, I think they come off the ball well. Again, it goes back. They're veteran. They're all fifth-year seniors. They've all played a lot. Again, there's a reason why they were ranked number 2 in the country for a good part of the season, and the O-line's a piece of that.
And then as far as the defensive front, they've ranked highly in the country in sacks, and it's kind of spread out among a handful of players stat-wise. So why have they excelled in terms of getting sacks?
Well, I mean, you can ask Hayden that question. He's going to tell you because they're winning up front.
And I know they had a handful of blocked kicks and blocked punts. When you watch the film, why are they able to have success in both of those departments? Even last year, I think they had 10 also, I read.
Yeah, they choose to pressure it, so that's they're getting there quite a bit. I mean, they do a really nice job with that.
Sorry, Bobby, first presser for me this year. I wanted to ask you, do you remember the 0-1 game? Were you in Chattanooga, or do you remember that game against Furman for the 0-1 title game?
I remember it. I was at a recruiting lunch in Seattle on Lake Union when I was working in Washington. I made them turn that game on. They were watching some other game, and I made them turn the NFL game off and put on that game. So yeah, I remember it. 13-6.
How do you rank that memory as far as games you've watched, and as a Griz alum, winning the national championship, and kind of your memory of that experience?
Oh, that's exciting. It was exciting. It's always good to win that one in particular. Hell, I wouldn't know.
Nick, I just want to talk about the offensive identity. You guys, throughout the year, seem to be gaining more and more confidence as who you are and what you want to get done. Even coming out in that game this weekend, throwing a pick on the first possession, but then bouncing back and not losing a beat. Just can you talk about the confidence you have in not only Clifton but the rest of the line to get things done, and kind of how you guys have clicked towards the latter part of the season in that aspect?
Yeah. I feel really comfortable with everyone that's on the field, and we all come together as a unit to get production. And I really trust that when I'm running the ball that the holes are going to be open, and the O-line's done a really good job with that. And the offense has been pretty balanced, and that's what we're kind of striving to do, is be able to throw and run the ball, and I think we've been doing a really good job doing that.
Obviously, you've played a lot of games here at Griz, but just being able to play at home in the playoffs, just that extra added advantage that the crowd gives you. Do you really believe in that? Do you think that really helps you guys? Do you feed off of that?
Yeah, when the energy is high in the stadium, it can get chaotic, and I know that helps the defense a lot, and it's pretty exciting to have that crowd roar.
Hayden, I'll ask you the same question with your first year being here. What has the crowd noise and the atmosphere matched up to what you were expecting coming into Missoula this year?
It's awesome. Going out there every Saturday to Griz is really special, and going forward in the playoffs and this game on Saturday, the crowd's going to have a really big deal as they recon to the sideline a lot. So we're going to be relying on them to make some noise, and we're going to really feed off that energy.
Hayden, can you just also speak to, I guess, the way this defense kind of settles in during games? Because obviously teams start with scripted plays to kind of get going, and then you guys kind of settle in. Just what's it like on this defense kind of settling as the game goes on? Because it feels like you guys just get better and better once they get past those first couple series.
Yeah, once we make our first, second drive adjustments, I feel like the defense does a really good job of everyone doing their 1/11th. Everyone's doing their job, and we can really function on a high level.
Just being on a defense like this with so many guys, where you were the leading tackler this last week. It could be anybody making a play. Just what's that like? Just having so many guys who can do something like that, both first and second string.
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to everyone doing their job, and whatever plays come to you, and just trusting the guys next to you to do their job. And if everyone does that, then everyone's going to get get stats. But at the end of the day, it's a team game, and just doing your 1/11th is the overall goal of the whole thing.
Nick, it feels like the offense has done a pretty good job at starting fast. Just what's it been like? What's gone into making that happen for you guys as the season goes on, where each game it seems like you guys are kind of off and running right out of the gate?
Yeah, kind of like what I said before, just trusting each other and kind of feeding off what Hayden said, is just doing your 1/11th. And for us, it's just like putting the ball in the right spot and trusting that the O-linemen are going to open up holes, and just getting out and doing your job, breaking tackles when you can, and everybody just doing their job and making the plays that they need to.
And Coach, you talked about the 0-1 game. Obviously, you were at Washington at the time, but you got here not long after that to be the head coach at your alma mater. Just do you remember what, I guess, the atmosphere was like when you got here of a team that had just recently won a national championship? Did anything kind of stand out when you got here after that point?
Well, I mean, we'd lost like 4 or 5 before that coming in, so that was. You go 2 years out, that's kind of ancient history at that point. You got to get going. That's about what I recall.
Bobby, for Cliff to have only thrown 2 interceptions and like 180 pass attempts or something, that's really low for that many attempts. What do you kind of attribute to why he's been able to take care of the ball and passing it?
It's simply that, Frank. He's just take care of it. He's throwing it to the guys in the right color jersey.
A couple special teams questions. We saw some long snapping issues for Delaware. I can't remember Grayson having one for you guys. Any issues this year snapping it? Just kind of curious your thoughts on how he's performed for you now in his second year as the long snapper.
Yeah. Did you want something on Delaware? And they snapped the one over the guy's head.
Yeah, on the last punt.
Yeah, I mean that didn't have nothing to do with the snapper.
Okay.
Anyway,
But just interested in Grayson and your thoughts on how he's been the long snapper for second year now.
yeah, certainly Grayson's done a great job. Typically, you don't notice the holder or the snapper unless there's a problem. Kind of take him for granted. We don't. We appreciate him, and we appreciate Grayson.
And then Nico Ramos come in, has made every field goal he's attempted the past month since he's came on. Just what can you say about his ability to step up these past few games for you guys after not kicking field goals for the first couple months of the year?
Yeah, he's done a nice job given the opportunity. I suppose he personifies what we believe in our program, which is you prepare yourself, you get ready to go, when you get given an opportunity, you succeed. That happens throughout the season on every football team in the country, and I suppose the ones that are still in FCS football or even FBS football, the ones that are still playing are the ones that probably do that the best. And Nico's done a nice job. That first field goal in the whiteout blizzard last weekend was pretty special, actually.
Anybody else? Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.